Hey guys, it's me, Julieann Hartman, and I have a very special show today, and I have a very special thing for you that I wanted you to see and to be a part of, and that is I am in Kona, Hawaii, and I thought it would be really cool because it's actually 6 a.m. here as opposed to 9 a.m. Pacific time. But I wanted you to watch the sunrise with me. So I'm going to turn you around so you can see what that looks like. So here is, now it's not the sun over the ocean because it's too dark on that side. And I wish I had a better camera, but that's what the sun is looking like as the sun rises here in Kona at 6 a.m. We got here on Friday and we've had such a great time together as a family, all four of us together. We all know Sophia, but we also have another daughter, Carly, that lives in Tennessee, and so she's here with us too as well. So oh my gosh, it's been amazing so far, but I wanted you to see it. Matter of fact, as the sun comes a little bit, I'm going to turn you around so you can see it. I don't want you to get dizzy from me turning you around, but you do have to see it. And I thought, man, I want you guys to experience this with me. So good morning, Doris and Valerie. Again, I want to take you guys to Hawaii with me because, even though in California, I know that Valerie lives in California, we tend to feel like we live in paradise, but this really is paradise here. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And then also, I just wanted to remind you about our challenges today, which is going to be May 21st and 22nd. That's in Glendale, Arizona. I should probably put that banner up. Glendale, Arizona, and it is going to be awesome. I mean, seriously, this is going to be so great because we all are just, all the teachers, I think we've mentioned this before, we have our team meetings every Friday. And all the teachers, we are just all on one accord with really seeing miracles happen, like for real, not just like, oh, miracles are going to be there. Like, no, real miracles happening. And because, it's interesting when faith builds up and faith is strong and faith is really just so tangible in the faith in knowing that we can see miracles, that we can see signs and wonders. We will see them, and we will see them. That is for sure. There is no doubt in my mind. And so I'm excited that, whoever gets to be there, I don't know who y'all are, but, we would love to see you all. And it's going to be jam-packed. And right now, you can keep on praying with us. Right now, as of now, Cindy Mezas will be able to be live with us, which would be awesome. She is coming from the Netherlands. And so, it's going to take a lot for her to get here. But I trust that all of you will be in agreement with us that she gets here and she has no complications whatsoever. So that would be very exciting. So anyway, so that's the conference, and I hope you all can join us because it's going to be amazing. And then let's go over to, let's see what else. Oh yeah, our podcast, guys. We have an amazing podcast, and we download 3 podcasts a week. So you're healing. See, I'm like, every time I think about healing, you're hearing teaching that is, let's say that, you're out and about and you don't have time to go on YouTube or, or even Facebook. But you could just slap in your AirPods in yours. That's why I listen to podcasts when I work out. Well, now you have an opportunity to listen to teachings on a podcast, which you can find us on every place that there's a podcast. We are on that platform, so that'll be great. And let's see what else. Oh my gosh, we had the best day yesterday. I just want you to know, we went out to a place called Hanukkah, not Hanukkah, but like Honakoa, something like that. And we went horseback riding for 3 hours. Then we went and had lunch in this little town. It was so cute. And then we went back and we did ATV riding. And so um, I've never seen so much dirt all over my body in one time in my entire life, but it was so much fun. So it was amazing. Let's see, what else did I have to put here? Um, nope, this is good. Okay, so are you ready? Because, man, I am. I'm going to go back to my comments and say hello. Yes, no, there's no video. This is real birds chirping. As a matter of fact, in Hawaii, uh, well, at least in all the trees here, are mina birds, and they're black with like yellow beaks and like yellow feet, but they are so loud. As a matter of fact, my daughters are in the room in front, and there's all these trees in front, and all the mina birds are so loud, and it's really kind of funny. But yes, those are birds. Hello from Ohio, Nepal. Oh my gosh, Linda! So glad you're here. And Tabitha. Well, you know, Tabitha was raised in this kind of weather, the paradise kind of weather. So you totally get. But I'm gonna let you see one more time since a lot of you guys have already logged on. But here we are. This is a golf course, and I cannot believe it. But for some reason, the sunrise is not showing up, which is such a bummer. But anyway, I want to get to our teaching, because you know what I love sometimes when you get when you are away from your everyday life, you know the Lord just starts downloading things to you. Why? Well, because you're out of like all the environment and all the things that that you have to do on a daily basis. Your daily schedule is not happening, and now you're able to I guess just let go of some things and just like for me, it's like, well, my dogs are taken care of. I can't even be concerned with that. My house is being taken care of. My daughters are with us. My husband is here with us. And so the Lord just, man, I've spent the last 3 days, we got here on Friday, and I've spent the last, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days actually, just me and the Lord talking. Man, it's been so much fun. And so the reason why I titled this, The Deception That Kills, what's kind of funny about me doing this teaching right here is that there are people on either side of me and above me, which they're going to hear the word too. And I believe they'll get healed as well. But the deception that kills is what? Man, I'm telling you something. The biggest deception that we all buy into is being fearful. And that is the truth. Literally, it's just being fearful. Fearful of, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be, just one thing, like, oh, I'm afraid of this or that. Fear is so deceiving that it sneaks in there. And I would have to say that fear is worse than any other sickness and disease. And I'll tell you why. Because we can walk around with it every day. We can live in it. We can walk around in it. We can move and have our being, and it's slowly killing us. And I hate to say it, but yes, Christians are right there being deceived. So how is that possible? You're like, my gosh, I have the word. I have so much that I know, and so much that that I know. It's like I get this. I understand the word. Like I have all the scriptures, and I understand healing, and I've read all the scriptures and all that stuff, and I don't see a change. Well, so what happens when you've read all the scriptures and you don't see a change? Well, I would have to say that fear strikes even harder. And why don't we necessarily see the change? Well, there's a few reasons. The reason I'm going to give you, because fear is making even more symptoms become magnified, become intense. What fear does to the physical body, man, it just, first of all, it squeezes, it squeezes the life out of your heart. Now you're seeing the sun rising big time. You can probably even see it behind me here. Yeah, it's reflecting in the window. But fear, I want you to go back to when you first started getting symptoms. And what did fear do to you? Because the symptoms are like here, and then fear on top of the symptoms make everything absolutely worse. Makes everything magnified and makes everything worse because your body is reacting to the fear faster than it's reacting to the sickness or disease. Why? Because the fear is something that it hits your body, and then that when it does hit your body, usually everything tenses like this, right? And we tense, and that's really what the physical position of our body is like, right? We tense up, and when that happens, it starts to, it affects our heart, it affects our blood pressure, it affects, my God, that alone affects everything else in your body, right? How do we live every day as a human? Our heart pumps the blood, right? And when that heart becomes so stricken with fear, it paralyzes the heart. And that's when people when they start to feel anxiety or panic attacks and stuff like that, they always feel that pressure in their chest and their heart. And that's what, that's worse than the actual symptoms or the diagnosis of you've got cancer or you've got this autoimmune disease or you've got that autoimmune disease. And I really believe that most autoimmune diseases, and I'm not going to say all, I am going to say most of them are completely because are in your body, because things got out of control in your body and your body went to an auto zone because of fear. I really do. There's a lot of emotional things that happen to us. It can happen, but what does God say to do? He says to be steady Eddie in his word. Steady Eddie, right? When we are going like this and this, up and down, what is happening to us? Well, we're getting in fear, we're getting mad, we're getting anxious, we're getting full of panic sometimes in our heart. Fear is it really is more of I wouldn't say silent, because fear can look really bad at times, can look very demonstrative. But fear also can slip in there and be very slick and sly so that you don't even realize that you're experiencing fear. What's happening in this world today, this is so interesting, in our world that we live in today, fear and anxiety has become like buzzwords. And I know we've talked about this before, but I really mean it. It's like, what's the buzzword of the day? I'm anxious. Someone help my anxieties. Everybody is talking about anxiety, and that is Christian, non-Christian, whatever. Now, the world we understand because they have not been given the Prince of Peace. They don't know the Prince of Peace. They don't know. And I am talking to myself too. I am talking to me. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to all of us. When we know the Prince of Peace, why are we choosing to go to respond to the deceiving one, the deceptor? Why are we choosing to go there? Why are we not immediately saying, listen, we have Psalm 91. That Psalm 91 is, people just really disregard it. And a lot of Christians don't even know that's a prayer of protection? Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, seriously, how do you not know that? But Psalm 91, a brand new Christian, I can understand. But if you as a Christian that's known Jesus longer than 6 months, you better know Psalm 91, because that covers everything. And these are the scriptures that It's interesting. These are the scriptures that we need to meditate on so that when something is put in our path, immediately our default is, nope, that's not even true. And I'll give you an example. This is kind of interesting. Yesterday we went horseback riding for 3 hours. And so as we're riding our horses in this, oh my God, it was just the most amazing, like, jungle. The guy says, hey, be careful because your trees will just randomly fall, and it might fall right in your path. And when they do, your horse is going to take off, right? And so, immediately our little brains could go right to, oh my God, what if this happens? Okay, so when have you heard something and went, what if that happens to me? I mean, raise your virtual hand. Raise your hand where you are. What if this happens to me? Right? Because that's where the enemy knows where you live. He knows how you live and what you say and all of those things, right? He knows it all. Because why? Because he watches you. And we give him such a show all the time. We let him see all the time how much fear is on the inside of us. Why? Because we are speaking it out of our mouth. The devil is not in our hearts. He hears what we say. He doesn't hear what we feel in our hearts. He doesn't know our truth. He just hears our words. Do you understand that? So listen, let's see. Yep, that's what she's so right. Yep. Bashara, Sherry Sam, I have autoimmune issues from long-term trauma. Yep. Absolutely. So the devil sees your reaction. So yesterday I had every opportunity to think, oh gosh, because we were in a jungle. I mean, like a jungle. And guess what? I heard trees going snap, and then they would fall. And but I immediately, and listen, guys, this is not Julieann saying that she is perfect and she does perfectly every time. Please leave me say this. But immediately, you know what came to me? Well, that won't happen. Because 1,000 may fall at my side and 10,000 at my right hand, but it shall not come near me. I mean, there could be a lot of trees falling. We could have a tsunami storm, but it ain't coming near me. It will have to either wait or not happen at all. But it's not happening around me. And that's what I love, is that we have a book here that is so full of declarations and truth, not just declaring. Yes, there are declarations here, but these are truths. I love it too. The title is Safety of Abiding in the Presence of God. Okay, so is the presence of God always in you and around you? Yes. Do we always access the presence of God that is in you and all around you? No. Why? Because that thing called fear will immediately take over when there is nothing else there that is a foundation of there is no reason to be scared. Let me say that again. We literally have to become numb to this fear thing. To be completely like numb. I mean, I can't think of a better word. Maybe y'all can think of one, but completely making it, when we make a decision that we are going to stand on the promises no matter what it looks like. So when that opportunity, I'm going to put it that way, when an opportunity for fear pops up, we have a choice right then to accept it or deny it. What are you going to do? Doris, Mars, Blanche. Let's see, I know you love the bird chirping. Sonia, what are you going to do? Sarah, Valerie, what are you, and anybody else out there, what are you going to do when that opportunity arises? So because fear is such a big part of our life, most of us, it was mine, that was my default button all the time. You know, when that first hits you, and then you start to feel like you have to go to the bathroom, you get like stung. You get stung by, like you got stung by a bee or an animal. You got stung by that fear and your whole body reacts. And I will say too, just in my own family, and this might be in yours, a lot of fear in our family was learned behavior. And I want you to really think about that. Being fearful of everything, learned behavior. Being fearful of, my gosh, physical things, emotional things, mental things, like all of that. Being afraid of, and if you really break it down, I used to say to myself, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid that something is going to be taken from you? Well, that was a big problem for me. That I was so afraid when I was a little girl that when my parents split up, that's kind of what messed me up. Because I even though my father was a horrible person, and do not get me wrong on this, you know, he would beat my mom daily, and he would beat probably even me too. I don't remember. I don't have a memory of that, but I know that he beat my sisters. So, you know, this was something that we lived with every day. But I really do believe that there was a lot of women in our family, and everything was always over the top, extra. Everything was always so exaggerated, just exaggerated. Well, you know, you're a kid and you see this and you learn the same thing. You learn how to react to things because you watched your mom do it. You learned how to, you know, deal with certain things. Well, because your mom or your dad, both, doesn't matter. But we learn this behavior. We learn about fear through our parents. Now, I'm not sitting here blaming your parents, but if your parents didn't have any fear and somehow you acquired that fear, then go back and look at that, because I like to know sometimes where the birthing of that fear was, and I know what it was. There was, my mother. I mean, God bless that woman. There wasn't a day that she wasn't fearing for her life after she had us, you know, or even before she had her kids. Even more so when you have kids, because now what do? You're stuck with a man that is abusing you verbally, physically, in every single way, mentally. And now you have kids, and should you leave? And her parents, you know, told her that she could never leave my father. Once she made that decision, that was it. So she couldn't do anything. So she really felt she was stuck, but she was scared, and I don't blame her. She feared for her life every day. But what does that do to our kids, anybody around us? Well, fear is a problem, and fear starts to now become a familiar spirit. Because remember, the 2 Timothy 1:7 says, fear that God did not give you a spirit of fear, but he gave you one of power, love, and a sound mind. The spirit of fear is a spirit. And until we have understanding of who we are spiritually, we're not going to know what to say or do when that spirit tries to take us out, rise up and take us out. So no matter what, I always go to this, no matter what happened to me as a kid, I don't care. I know who my Jesus is now. I know that I'm not anywhere near. So they're so cute. This little bird just came to sit over here. I refuse to live my life full of fear. I refuse it. And I have done everything that I know to do to completely annihilate it, because fear is the thing that is trying to kill you. You see, we don't look at fear as the enemy that steals, kills, and destroys. We just look at it as that's just something that happens to me. That's the enemy. That's the thing that steals, kills, and destroys. That's exactly what it does. It is meant to destroy. So Psalm 91 that says, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him I will trust." We talked about this a couple weeks ago. What will you say of the Lord? Are you so much dealing and speaking with fear that you're not saying of the Lord anymore? That's a big problem. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him I will trust. Surely He shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the perilous pestilence. You know, because we've been dealing with coronavirus, the COVID-19's crap. You know what that is? It's a pestilence. He says, surely He shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the perilous pestilence. He shall cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you shall take refuge. You know what? Yesterday when we were going through that jungle, I was like, He's covered me with His feathers. And under His wings, I have taken refuge. None of these branches are going to fall and scare my horse. They're not going to fall on my head. No. But that was something that could have easily triggered me. Easily. His truth shall be your shield and buckler. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flies by day, nor of the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor of the destruction that lays waste at noonday. 1,000 may fall at your side and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Only with your eyes shall you look and see the reward of the wicked. Because you have made the Lord, who is my refuge, the Most High, your dwelling place. That means that's where you live. Now, where you live, you're not going to move out. I love that. Because you have made the Lord, who is my refuge, even the Most High, your dwelling place. Your dwelling place, where you dwell, is where you live. It's where you abide. I'm going to look up here right now in dictionary.com because I love going to dictionary.com the meaning of different words. So here we are. Dwelling place. Oh, it just says a dwelling, but let me just look up dwell. Okay, to live or stay as a permanent residence. To live or continue in a given condition or state. To linger over, emphasize, ponder in thought, speech, or writing, often followed by, let's see. Okay, well, we're going to stick with the first two. Live to stay a permanent resident. To live or continue in a given condition or state. So I'm going to live and stay right here. It says, because you have made the Lord, who is my refuge, even the Most High, your dwelling place. No evil. Now listen to me when I tell you this. And I'm being passionate about this. Because I'm tired of the deceptor. I'm tired of deception. I'm trying to deceive you all the time. I'm going to move my computer over here because it's the sun is so bright. Man. I just thought I thought you guys would like to be outdoors with me today. Because you have made the Lord, who is my refuge, even the Most High, your dwelling place. No evil. Now hear me out. Because we have done this, how can you say no shall befall you? Because why? Because you have made the Lord, who is your refuge, even the Most High, your dwelling place. So no evil shall befall you, nor shall any plague come near your dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. In their hands they shall bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. You shall tread upon the lion and the cobra, the young lion and the serpent you shall trample underfoot. Wow. What do you all think about that? Do you guys, excuse me, do you guys read Psalm 91 frequently? I probably still have dirt in my throat from yesterday. How often do you read Psalm 91? Psalm 91 is an answer to everything. Everything that is messing with you. Every little thing and every big thing. How often are you meditating on this word? This is a powerful word. It is covering everything. Let me go on. Because he has set his love upon me, therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known my name. He shall call upon me, that's us calling upon the Lord, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. I don't care how you feel. I don't care. Listen, you can sit here and try to fight me right now and argue with me whether this scripture works or not. You're not my deciding factor. And I want you to have this right at your fingertips, right at the tip of your tongue, when somebody starts spewing out, well, it doesn't work for me, and I tried this and I tried that. Well, you know what? When you've tried it all, that's probably the best place for you to be, is to stop trying and let the Lord, let this word literally penetrate in your heart. Penetrate in your heart so that it is so full in your heart that there is no more place, no more room for fear. It says, give no place to the devil. Fear and the devil are synonymous. They're one. They're synonymous. They're one. Don't give him any more place in your life. Don't give him a place in your heart. Don't give him a place in your head. Don't give him any place whatsoever. But when we say those things and we try to convince people like, well, it didn't work for me, and I tried this and I tried that. I don't care who you are. I don't go by your word. If you're telling me, if you're speaking the word to me, I'll go by that. But if you're speaking your own experience, I will not. Matter of fact, I will cut you off. I don't let anybody spew their lies and their junk at me. I refuse it. So I am imploring you that it is time for this to be in your mouth, no matter what you feel. Those symptoms are just loud because you're giving them place. They're louder than the word because the word is not as strong in your heart as the symptoms. Think about it. Because most symptoms are just a lie from the pit of hell. Most of them. Well, what am I saying most? All of them are a lie from the pit of hell, because the devil is the one that brings sickness. God does not. That's mental, physical, emotional. That covers all of it. That is not from God. God is a good God. God is the healer. God is your deliverer. He is not the one that puts sickness on you or sits there and folds his hands and says, well, you know the word, you better suffer now. I mean, that's just, I've heard all kinds of things, you guys. I cannot believe some of the The crazy things that people say about God, and I know you've probably heard the same thing. But what will you say of the Lord when you've got that right here in this Bible? What will you say of the Lord? You know, oh, there's so many things I want to talk about. Mark 11:22, I love this because it says here, we go to it. Mark 11:22. I'm actually facing a golf course, and you're hearing the people cleaning up the golf course, I guess. All those noises. But it's kind of fun because you're also hearing the birds chirp. Let's see. 11:22. So Jesus answered and said to them, okay, so this is not Julieann answered and said to them. This is not, the local pastor answered and said to them or anybody else. It says, Jesus answered and said to them. This is all in red. Have faith in God. Have faith in God. That's Mark 11:22. Now this is talking about the fig tree. So it says, now in the morning, as they passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up from the roots. And Peter, remembering, said to him, Rabbi, look, the fig tree which you cursed has withered away. So Jesus answered and said to them, have faith in God. He gave us a tree, for God's sakes, as an example. Have faith in God. That is the answer. Have faith in God. Have faith in God's word. The symptoms have become so one-focused that the faith of God is taking second place. That's what symptoms do. Symptoms try to exalt themselves against the knowledge of Christ, because if those symptoms can come on strong, they can start to take you off your truth, take you off your promise, take you off the foundation of what you know to be true. That is the truth. Have faith in God. What is that faith? That's, we say, the Bible says, faith without works is dead. What's the works? See, people think they right to human experience, right to that flesh stuff, right to that, well, I've got to do this and I've got to say that and I've got to do this. It's got to be, I got to say that 4 times. I got to say that 6 times. I've got to go stand on my head for an hour a day. I've got to do all these things. What I love is, what the work is? To be in rest on what you're standing on all the promises. Rest is hard. It's hard for us. We're not used to it. We want to labor to do things. The Bible says, labor into the rest. Well, why did he say that? Well, he knows his people. He knows how we have to work to get ourselves to rest, because rest is not something that and I'm not talking about laying down in bed. I'm talking about resting in your heart. Resting in your heart. Can you rest today? Can you, Mark 11:22, have faith in God? Have the God kind of faith. Can you rest in the truth that you know is true, not the truth that you think is true, meaning that report, meaning that what that person said, meaning that what you feel right now. We go by what God says in his word, which is truth. And that's what we fight against daily, is human experience, even human theology, human science, human mathematics, human economics, all of that. You know, the have faith in God is not just in healing. He was talking about a fig tree there. Have faith in God, not in your circumstance, not in your symptoms, not in what somebody told you. He says, have faith in me. Have faith in me. Man, this is really powerful. I'm going back to Psalm 91 because, guys, I'm telling you something. If you can replace every fear with knowing the truth, whenever that fear tries to strike. Oh, and then also, too, this is amazing because we also have Genesis 1:26. See, Genesis 1:26 and Psalm 91 all go together for me. I hope they do for you too. Genesis 1:26 is, gosh, you think I'd be able to go right to it here. 1:26. Just lost my page. Okay, 1:26. I'm going to restart there. Then God said, so what did I just say? Then God said, let's make man in our image according to our likeness. Let them have dominion. What does dominion mean? I'm going to look it up here in my dictionary. Have dominion. The power of governing, controlling sovereign authority. A territory, usually of considerable size, in which a single rulership holds. God, this is so good. The power or right of governing and controlling. Sovereign authority. Are you hearing this? I sure hope so. Let them have dominion. That's you, and that the power or governing or controlling sovereign authority over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Then God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion, control over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. And God said, see, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed, to you it shall be for food. Anyway, that was probably need to stop at 28 to get to my point at the end of 28. He said many times, then God said, let there be man. Let us make man in our own image. And if you read through Genesis, there's a God said, God created, God spoke, God this, God spoke, God spoke, God spoke, God blessed, God blessed. You know, I love this. Then God blessed them. You know, God has blessed you. You live in the blessing. You are now as a new creature in Christ, right? This was the Old Testament, and that was a pretty great covenant. But you now, you have an even better covenant. Jesus Christ is your new covenant, and there's nothing that was left out of that, even more so now. He says that we're going to do even more things because he goes to be with the Father. And so he says, greater works that you will do. What are those greater works? The greater works are what the healings, the trusting in the Psalm 91 of the branch, or what it might be from my friend. Whatever it is, you're going to do greater things, and you're already doing them. But the main thing, the thing that this is all based on is Mark 11:22. Have faith in God. If you don't trust, it's like have trust in God. If you don't have faith and you don't trust in God, then none of this is going to work for you. None of it. Because you don't believe it, you don't live it, you don't think about it, you don't trust it, nothing. You don't even know it. Have faith in God. Do not have faith in your doctor's report. Do not have faith in what anybody else has told you, but what the word says. Have faith in God, in his word. Have faith in God. And then, it goes on to talk about, oh man, well, I can't go off of that, but one second. I was going to go to down in the lion's den and Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. My God. Those stories, just like, we'll discuss those on the future. Let's see. A future teaching. Then it goes on to say this. First of all, so Jesus answered and said to them, this is not, so Julieann answered and said, and Jesus answered and said to them, have faith in God, for assuredly I say to you, whoever, this is not just that group of people or that person, it's a whoever says to this mountain, be removed and be cast into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart. That is that's a big thing here. Does not doubt in his heart. Where does the doubt start? Where does the fear go? The fear goes, right, takes that fiery dart, right into your heart, bam. It says, whoever says this mountain be removed and be cast in the sea and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that those things he says will be done, he will have whatever he says. Therefore, I say to you, whatever things you ask when you pray, believe that you receive them and you will have them. Have faith in God. Have faith in God. Have faith in your heart. So there's no place for fear. Have faith, have the trust in the Lord in your heart. So there's no place for fear. Have complete 100% occupancy in your heart for the Lord, and do not allow the works of the enemy, the deception, that's even a word, all the deception, don't let that get into your heart. Why? Because that's the one thing that will completely destroy your faith in God. You understand that? I know you do. You guys are amazing and awesome, and I know that it's, oh my gosh, I can't believe how fast the time has gone. But that is, we read scriptures over and over, and we have for years. But sometimes we need that sometimes, all the time. It's the revelation that is revealed to you that actually changes your heart. It's the revelation that you get when that word gets revealed off the page, and it penetrates in your heart so strong that nothing shall by any means harm you. That's Luke 10:19, right? It says, I've given you authority over serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy. Authority. You only have authority because you have your trust, your faith is in God. That's the only way that you can have any authority. Your trust, your faith is in God. It's not in anything that anybody gave you, unless they gave you the word. It's not in your doctor's report. It's not in your symptoms. It's not in your diagnosis. None of it is. Your faith is in God. Put your blinders on. Don't allow the outside stuff to penetrate in your heart and tell you otherwise. I do have to go because it's so late already for you guys. We've already gotten almost an hour. But I love you guys. I want to see you May 21st and 22nd in Arizona, Glendale, Arizona. Please. It's going to be amazing. And I know that you are going to see the miracles, signs, and wonders. Not just believe it, but we're going to see it. That is the truth. That is what God has shared with all of us. We're going to see. So I really hope you guys can be there. And if you all would like to help out with helping us, let's see, let me go find this here. Helping us pay for all of this. It's up to you. You can if you want. You don't have to. But you can go to healingjourneystoday.com. And I just appreciate everything that you guys give to us now, 10 days from now, 6 months from now, 20 years from now, because we're not going anywhere. But because of you, we're making all of this happen, which we have our live teachings every day, 7 days a week, but also this conference is going to be paid for by you. And it blows me away, the generosity of all of you guys. You guys are amazing. You're awesome. And I appreciate you so much. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate you. And it's going to be awesome. But, I just have to tell you, even if you never found in your heart to give us, to donate, to give us whatever you feel that the Lord has given you to give us in your heart, God's still going to make this happen. That's what I just love. Why? Because my faith is in God. He told me to do a live conference. So that's what we're doing. He told me exactly where to do it. That's why I know it's going to be so amazing. Not only did he tell me to do it, but he told me where to do it. That is what's so awesome about it. So I really hope to see you there. I love you guys. I will see you next week on Healing Journeys Today. And don't forget, later this afternoon at 5 p.m. Pacific time, it will be the beautiful Teresa Houghteling, who is she's always so awesome. I know you guys really get a lot out of her. And so I'm just appreciative that we have her on this platform. And then tomorrow morning is Nichole Marbach. So I love you, and I will see you next week. Have faith in God.